Hi, everyone. This is Geoff Tate, and you're watching CMS-TV.
It is Chris Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin. And today on the show, one of the all-time great story writers, musicians, just metal musicians of our time. He is, of course, Geoff Tate. He is back on May 1st or May 3rd. I think it's May 3rd. I'm going to ask him that, but that's a Sunday, so that's interesting. May 3rd is the listed date for the new Operation Mindcrime 3. Everybody that is a Queensrÿche fan or a Geoff Tate fan is certainly excited to hear what this is. We've been treated to the song Power, which has been great toe in the water, so to speak. So here to talk all about all of that, the great Geoff Tate. Geoff, how are you, sir?
Wow, what an introduction. I'm humbled.
Well, it's great to talk to you, Geoff. And it is an exciting time for anybody that is a fan of yours, either past work or current work, just because Operation Mindcrime 3 coming, it puts a vision in, as a fan, it puts a vision in our head. You know, much like when you guys did Operation Mindcrime 2, it put a vision in our head. Talk about it for you as the musician. How do you approach this? Do you approach this at all with the thoughts of, you know, pressure to rekindle the story or to make fans happy, or is it solely an artistic expression and you keep it to yourself, and if everybody enjoys it, well, that's good too?
Well, the album is called X, Operation Mindcrime 3.
Okay.
And it actually was kind of a seeking, I'm curious kind of guy, right? And I started thinking about the character in the story, Dr. X. We don't really know him, you know? We don't know what he's all about. We know his name, but we don't know his story, you know? And so I began thinking about that and kind of leaning in that direction, you know? Who is this guy? It's pretty evident on the record. I think people will pick up on that.
Sure. For you, Geoff, you know, continuing this story, you know, let me backtrack. This, obviously the characters and this story is one of the most storied characters in the history of heavy metal. I mean, I'm sure you've heard it as well as everybody else. You know, everybody puts Operation Mindcrime as number 1, 2, or 3 in the all-time annals of great concept records. I imagine with that said, that puts so much more pressure on you as a creator to tell the story and identify the characters fully instead of sloppily, because there is such a history to it. Is it hard for you to put yourself back in that place and then write and continue the story of Dr. X and, you know, and the characters?
No, it's real easy. Actually, I kind of like to wallow. I kind of like to wallow in that world, you know?
Sure.
It's really a guilty indulgence. Yes. And I had a wonderful couple years making this record. It's really been kind of a record that's been living with me for, probably 4 years straight right now. And, you know, working on it, you know, wherever we are, wherever we're traveling, the beauties of technology, you know, today, living the 21st century gives you that, you know, that option. But it was kind of a labor of love, really. Absolutely. Getting back into the story and really trying to define the characters even more was great. And my right hand through the whole thing, Kieran Robertson, started writing with me several years ago on this. And he and I were just like on fire with this idea. He'd call me in the middle of the night wherever I was, you know, hey, what about if we take it this way? And, you know,
right.
We kept leaving each other's messages all over the place wherever we were traveling, you know, to sort of keep talking, keep the conversation moving, you know, with the creative process, you know. And then it was a wonderful way to work, actually. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Right. Is this part of a story that you never felt you finished? Like, have you had these ideas dating all the way back to the 80s where you felt like you had more to say, or does time go by and you kind of find yourself pushing yourself back into it?
No, it's something that's always in the back of your head, and you're constantly thinking about, where these characters are, where have they gone, what else have they been through, and also just the idea of perspective. People have a different perspective on a given situation. It just really depends on your, the angle you view it in, so to speak. How immersed you are in it gives you that sense of perception and perspective. So like the first two albums really focused a lot on the character Nikki, and to a certain extent, Sister Mary as well. And the Dr. X character was this kind of shadowy figure we didn't know much about. So, bringing his perspective, the way he grew up, the way he was shaped, really helps define, who he is, and we see, that how the story looks from that.
Look at your screen right now. If you're tired of the hide-and-seek games with big tech, where links disappear and episodes get throttled, I've got the fix. I'm Chris Akin, and it's time for me to show you how to take back your access to the Classic Metal Show, the Seth Williams Show, and Chris Akin Presents. Pick up your phone, go to the App Store or Google Play, and download the Locals app. It is 100% free. Once you're in, just search for the CMS Network. You're going to see everything. Every interview, every unfiltered rant, every deep dive music discussion, every uncensored news article we put up, all in one centralized, uncensored hub. No more chasing links across 5 different socials. This is our home. But if you really want the keys to the kingdom, look for that VIP upgrade. For just $4.99 a month, you're cutting out the commercials, getting the advanced drops before anyone else, and accessing bonus episodes that are way too heavy, dirty, or we just don't want to share with the free public. For the price of a cheap beer, you're supporting independent, unapologetic media. Download the Locals app today. Get some CMS wherever you are. And if you're a real one, join the VIP squad at classicmetalshow.locals.com. The Classic Metal Show and the CMS Network. It's uncensored. It's unapologetic. We will see you there. Did I lose?
Side of things. It's, and I guess,
Right. Certainly. Well, Geoff, as you've done here recently, you gave us our first taste, which was Power. People are listening to it. I'm sure. I'm not sure. I see the reaction online, and most people are positive. Some people are negative, as is the internet, just in general. But the negative, to me, is a positive, which is that it doesn't sound like something out of 1988. It's got that more modern touch, almost like you took the stuff or the direction you were doing sort of with Sweet Oblivion and pushed it into this a little bit. Is that accurate, or do you feel like people should be hearing it as 1988, progressive layering type of a musical piece?
Oh, are you talking about the actual musical composition?
Yes.
Or the mixing aspect of how it sounds, from an audio standpoint?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound anything like 1988,
right?
Thankfully. Yeah, the dynamic range of recording is expanded greatly since then, and so you have a much bigger, more accurate sounding piece of music now. If you do it right.
Right.
But as far as song structure, gosh, this is kind of a treat. Nobody ever asked me about that. Anybody.
Well, I feel honored.
Well, I always sort of approach it as like a painting, how you would paint a scene, so to speak. Music is an audio scene, really. And I think that the words should reflect the music, and the music should reflect the words. and the whole thing worked together to create, a certain emotion, a certain feeling. And if you're really skilled, you could maybe do that in like several sections of the song, from intro, verse, bridge, chorus. You could really maximize it out. But in the case of this album, that's what we tried to do. Really, is paint an audio picture of what was happening in the story.
Sure. For you and the way you write, especially basically since you left Queensryche, you write much more theatrically. Obviously with the Operation Mindcrime, the band albums, that was a story. It was a structured story. Obviously, this is the continuation of a structured story. Do you feel, for you as a creator, that you need to have that structure to tell stories now, instead of an Empire type of a thing where you could tell a story in 3 minutes and have a single and commerce and all the other stuff that would come with short stories versus a longer piece?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer. I think that you should try for both if you can.
Okay.
Right. As far as making a concept record or a story record, yeah, I think you have to adhere to the story quite a bit. And you could tell a short story, quickly, I guess. I don't know. It's tough to answer because I couldn't tell you. What do I like better? Well, you'll see on the new record. That's
okay.
What I like better.
I'm always curious though, Geoff, and I'm going to devil's advocate this a little bit. I don't imagine that you can quickly produce music the way you do, just because, at least the last 10 years, you've written longer stories. I don't imagine that you were sitting around one night, we're like, oh, I've got this fantastic idea, and write out these really developed stories like The Key or Resurrection or now the X story. Is that frustrating for you as a creator and as a business person in the business, that you can't do like so many of your contemporaries where you write a song, it's not love, and boom, it's 3 minutes of relationship music? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I like a good relationship song too.
Sure.
I think it's a challenging bit of stuff to write, really. Absolutely.
Right on.
I don't know. You're asking me tough questions, Chris.
Oh,
and I'm
sorry.
just not used to answering.
Sorry. Oh, well, Geoff, you're on tour. What's that like? Is that better?
Well, I get like, when did you cut your hair? I get a lot of that too.
Yeah, I remember the old days. What happened?
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
That's
Geoff.
Keyword old.
Yeah, well, we're all feeling that, aren't we? Nice. Well, Geoff, obviously with a record like this and with your history, people are already starting to chirp a little bit about what form are we going to get this in, as far as in the live form. And I haven't seen it from you, so I'm just going to ask you. I've seen people saying that they want to hear the entire Mindcrime vision in one thing, which I think would be like a 3.5-hour show. And like we said, we're all getting a little older. I don't know that I could stand for 3.5 hours to watch, but what is your plan going forward? Do you want to do that, even if it's just for one show somewhere, or is that just not the vision you have?
Well, not for this tour, especially.
Sure.
This one is going to present the new album, and
Okay.
short excerpts so people will become a little bit accustomed to it, which is sort of a strange thing about human nature and the way we perceive music, for example. I think I've always noticed this sort of pattern. Like if the band or I release a record and we play songs from the record on the current tour, people aren't that familiar with the song yet,
Mm-hmm.
But you come back the next year through and you play the same song, and the reaction is so different, because people have had a chance to really digest the music and like it or not,
Sure.
So I like to sort of introduce it easily for people, And you're right, people can't stand up for 3 hours. They can't do it. They barely make 90 minutes now.
Exactly. Well,
except in Athens the other night. That was a intense show where nobody sat down and everybody was throwing each other around the room.
wow.
It was a very physical, interesting show.
No question. Well, Geoff, while we're talking about touring, obviously you're going to have this release out. What is the touring looking like for you for the next, say, 12 months? Because I'm sure you're going to promote, and push, right?
It's more like 10 years, really, Chris. The tour never ends,
Right.
The tour never ends. And I don't know what I would do with myself if it did. I really enjoy traveling.
Sure.
I enjoy being in different places. Today, I'm in this amazing old city center. And it's actually the first day off I've had in like a week. So it's a nice day off, and the weather's decent. So it's great. But I know I love to travel. I love presenting the music and I love playing shows and taking the show to places where they don't get a lot of shows, for example. Like one of the places here because they don't get a lot of live music here,
Right.
So I think it's great to bring your music to people rather than expecting them to drive, 4 hours to see you play, because you're just going to make one appearance in the region,
Sure. Let me ask you a personal one, Geoff, and if you don't want to answer it, just tell me no, and we'll move forward. But
No, nothing personal, Chris.
Well,
I'm joking.
I know it's not that personal of a question, but it is something, going back to what we were saying earlier about getting older and whatnot. My impression of you, because I don't, we're not buds or anything, but my impression from everything I've ever read is that in addition to being so passionate about your music, you're equally committed family-wise. There's a lot of stuff about, you and your wife and your daughter, and a lot of us have met your daughter at shows and you really have that family thing too. Is there ever going to be a point where you have to make a decision about, I'm going to stay home and be family Geoff Tate now versus being rock star Geoff Tate? Or is that just not even on the table? Look, everybody, I have spent 30 years in the loudest rooms in the world, and I can tell you one thing for certain. I've got zero time for weak coffee or woke nonsense. Guess that's actually two things I don't care. If you're like me, you're tired of giving up your money to corporate sellouts who hate your values. You want a brew that's as unapologetic as a Marshall stack cranked to 11. Enter Blackout Coffee. This is bold, fresh roasted, 100% American grit in a cup. It's fuel for patriots who refuse to back down. Whether you're hitting the Patriot medium roast or the massive high caffeine kick of brutal awakening, this is the taste of real freedom and hard-hitting flavor. Stop supporting the bland beans of companies that don't stand for you. Head over to blackoutcoffee.com right now. Use my code, which is in the description, for an exclusive discount. You can save. It's time to wake up unstoppable. Blackout Coffee, folks. Fuel for patriots. Get yours now.
Well, I don't know. I guess I don't really see it as black and white like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I still travel. My kids join me at various times to visit. They bring their grandkids, our grandkids, and we spend time with them as well. It's not like an everyday thing,
Sure.
But, a couple times a month, it's great.
Sure. You can't see yourself sitting around the house watching TV and, cutting the grass and stuff.
No, I can't. That's not on the cards for me.
Right on. Well, Geoff, we'll wrap up here. Tell me a little bit about how you would like people to receive this record. And before you answer, let me kind of spell that out. I don't mean, are they going to like it? Are they going to hate it? Whatever. I know I've known you long enough to know that is not what your purview is. What I am curious about is, the way the world works today with music. 30 seconds, they make their decision, they move on. You do not make music that can be judged in 30 seconds or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, even years. In my opinion, your music has to be completely absorbed and a few times to get it and then make a decision. And that's not how the world works today. So how would you, in an ideal situation in 2026, see people receiving this new release?
This way. Headphones.
Right.
It's
okay.
The record sounds amazing on headphones. And it was really designed that way too. You know, people wear headphones a lot these days. You know,
they do
wear them everywhere they go.
Mm-hmm.
And even at low volumes, you know, they're listening to what they're listening to, either music or podcasts, the news, you name it, you know. So I think it's the best way to listen to it. Absolutely. No distractions. It's just got you, right?
Sure.
And it's well worth if you don't have a pair of these, you got to get them. Everybody, you got to get them.
Yep.
They're amazing. They even do translation now, which is great when you travel, and you can carry on a conversation with your AirPods, for example,
right,
in different languages and still communicate. It's phenomenal.
Sure. Does that help you? I'm sure it does. That help you with you know, the ability to do interviews for, you know, here's the guy from China or whatever, right?
Yeah, it helps you. It helps you make not make huge mistakes. So I get that by getting the words wrong, you know.
Right on. Well, Geoff, obviously it is an exciting time to be a fan of yours. X coming soon. Power is out there now. Are we going to get another single or two before the record comes out?
It looks like it could be possible. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, one more time, it is Geoff Tate. It is X. May 3rd is the date. And Geoff, this has been fun. Thanks for joining me here on Chris Akin Presents.
Thank you, Chris.
Follow the chaos. The Classic Metal Show is live on X. Stream all the episodes for free, watch the show live every Saturday night, or just get there and find out what is going on with the Classic Metal Show. Get your metal feed, x.com/CMS Rocks.